Welcome to the Alabama Lifespan Respite Reimbursement Program in partnership with Alabama Cares. Alabama Lifespan Respite, a statewide program of United Cerebral Palsy of Huntsville and Tennessee Valley, Inc., contracts with Alabama Cares to administer respite reimbursement funds to Alabama Cares caregivers who have chosen self-directed care. Let's review a timesheet with instructions to receive reimbursement for respite services. The timesheet states the dates you can use respite services and the amount of your award for 1 year from the date of enrollment with Alabama Cares. Do not alter this information. If you have any questions about your award amount or date of enrollment, please contact your Alabama Cares coordinator. First, please fully read all materials and instructions carefully. Contact us immediately if you have any questions or concerns. Terms to know to get started. Who is a primary caregiver? You are the primary caregiver. You applied through the Alabama Cares program for respite as the person who provides full-time, unpaid care to complete activities of daily living for a parent, spouse or partner, child, sibling, grandparent, or other family member who requires full-time care due to a disability or chronic illness. If you are not the primary caregiver based on this description, please contact Alabama Lifespan Respite. Who is a care recipient? Your family member who requires full-time care due to a disability or chronic illness is the care recipient. Who is a respite provider? This is a person you hire to give you a short break or respite from daily caregiving duties. Respite provision at on-site fee-based respite day or evening programs are also eligible for reimbursement. What are timesheets? Timesheets are simply a paper form that documents when and how long respite took place and who you hired as the respite provider to give you a break. Please stop and read the next page carefully before completing your timesheet. Let's go over the instructions. Caregivers may choose anyone they wish to provide respite. The respite provider must be age 18 or older and not living in the same household. More than one respite provider may provide respite and be recorded individually on the timesheet. When respite service is completed, the respite provider must sign the timesheet to indicate the date and time respite was received. This can be typed if you're submitting electronically. The caregiver will pay the respite provider out of pocket for respite service, record payment on the timesheet, then sign and submit the completed timesheet, either by email or postal mail, to Alabama Respite before the due date. Once Alabama Respite receives the completed and signed timesheet, a reimbursement check based on award amount and dates to be used will be issued to the caregiver within 30 days. Please note, your reimbursement check will come in the form of a paper check from United Cerebral Palsy of Huntsville and Tennessee Valley, Inc., and it will be in a navy blue envelope. Now, let's review the checklist. Please mark that you have read and understand each of the following items. Fill your timesheet out completely, including your signature. This can be typed if submitting electronically. Make certain you are consistently signing the same name, as it must match our original records. If your timesheet is not completed correctly, you may not be reimbursed. Do not fill out your timesheet for future dates. Only respite services already provided are eligible for reimbursement. Do not submit your timesheet for reimbursement until you have utilized a minimum of $400. If your total award is less than $400, utilize the entire amount before submitting. You will receive a new timesheet with remaining balance with your reimbursement check. Do not make photocopies of timesheets and do not alter the amount, dates to be used, or funding stream information. Only original timesheets issued by Alabama Respite will be accepted. Please do not email or call regarding the status of your reimbursement unless at least 30 days have passed since you submitted your completed timesheet. Staff works as quickly as possible to process timesheets for reimbursement. We understand the processing time may cause an inconvenience, but we are required to follow the policies and procedures implemented by Alabama Cares partners. If you were enrolled with the Alabama Lifespan Respite's Universal or DMH reimbursement program prior to being approved for the Alabama Cares program, Alabama Lifespan Respite enrollment will end when Alabama Cares enrollment begins. Reimbursement is not taxable income and should not affect SSI benefits. Now, let's work on a sample timesheet. Again, please note, please utilize at least $400 before submitting reimbursement. We'll begin with the primary caregiver's name. This should be your name. Then list your mailing address. Please also include the county in which you reside. Next, list your email address. Then your phone number. In the second column, you'll list your respite provider. Remember, the respite provider is the person you hire to take care of your loved one while you take a respite break. You'll also need to put their phone number. If you have more than one respite provider, please list their name and phone number in the spaces provided. Next, you'll see primary caregiver signature and date. We'll come back to this section. Let's move on to care recipient name. Remember, the care recipient is your loved one who has a chronic illness or disability and requires full-time care. Next, please indicate your stress level on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not stressed at all and 10 being the most stressed you've ever been. This stress level should be an indicator of your stress level after respite service has taken place. Next, you'll see an area in red. This is for office use only, so you can proceed to timesheet page 2, which is where you'll record your respite breaks. So my respite provider is Colleen Daniels. I already have one example here. Colleen came in and gave me a break on October 1st of 22. I paid Colleen $10 an hour for 5 hours for a total of $50. And Colleen typed her name in here. So remembering that we have to utilize at least $400 before we can submit our timesheet for reimbursement, let's go ahead and fill in some additional dates of service for our respite breaks. On this date, I took a longer break. Later on that month, I was able to take a weekend away, and I paid a flat rate for calling to stay with my loved one. Here, I took a shorter break. I just needed to run a couple of errands to get ready for Christmas. So I'm ready to go ahead and submit for reimbursement. I've spent $420 for 38 hours of respite. So now let's go back to timesheet page 1. Now we can sign and confirm the providers and the dates of service are correct. Now we're ready to submit for reimbursement. Be sure and include timesheet page 1 and page 2 and make sure everything's filled out. And then either mail or email your completed form to Alabama Lifespan Respite. If you have any questions about your timesheet or how to utilize your respite, please email respite, RESPITE, at ucphuntsville.org or call us at 256-859-8300. This concludes our demonstration. Thank you.